Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tony Diamato here, SRG Consulting. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video today. I appreciate it. And I want to go over and address just a couple of key points that I think we need to this day and age. Something that they never teach us in school that we really should be teaching all of our kids, and all of our kids should have a class in college about this stuff, and it's all about finance. But it's not the typical finance that you think. It's about corporations and balancing and how to structure corporations and how to set things up and taxes. All those things are important. Okay. And, America went on this debt system after 1971 when Nixon took us off the gold standard. Okay. And the debt system is great for companies and it's great for, credit cards, but it's not too great for the consumer. I've never understood borrowing money today and paying for things today and then paying for it 2, 3, 4 years later as well on a credit card. Because that's what happens, because the interest just gets overwhelming. You spend $5,000 on a credit card and all of a sudden before you know it, with interest, you got $15,000 in a balance. It gets ridiculous. And then you're upside down and you got to pay it. And then you got another credit card to get the same shit over and over and over. And then you get upside down bankruptcy attorneys love it because that's just guaranteed business for them. So my advice, especially if you're younger, don't use credit cards or do prepaid credit cards. So have a $500 balance or $1,000 balance. Make sure you're spending below 50% of the high balance and then pay it off and then build your credit that way. But you don't need $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 in credit cards. Bad idea. Not a good idea at all. Bad business plan. Okay. Second thing, when it comes to investing, I've been an investor, business owner, and stockbroker or in finance now for 30 years. Okay. And I own a consulting company because I actually wanted to help people and educate people on how to do these things and make sure that they're financially secure and sound and they protect their wealth. So what you have to understand is compound interest. So compound interest is what happens when you have instruments that you invest in long term. Now you can continue to add to them, or you can just one-time lump sum, put money in them, and compound interest grows over and over and over. And here's the thing about it that you have to understand. If you spend $5,000 or if you spend $150,000, either way, compounding is going to grow. Just let it grow. All right, leave it alone. It's designed for retirement. It's designed to basically have everything set up to where you can take advantage of it later down the road. All right. Mutual funds, investment accounts. That's why when you start a 401k or you start a investment account or an IRA, you can't touch it till 59 and a half because you're starting to get towards that retirement age. There's penalties because they're trying to protect you. Okay. Real estate. Real estate is all about leverage and tax incentives. Same thing with investment accounts. Investment accounts are all about tax incentives. Okay, your corporations. If you have corporations and you put them in and you have them in a trust, there's another level of tax incentive, tax mitigating taxes. Okay, that's the whole thing about investing. It's all about paying less in taxes. Okay, that's the system we have in the United States. You need to learn how to basically work the system. And people like me teach how to work the system legally when it comes to putting things together. And I work with attorneys very closely every day to make sure that all of that stuff is done properly. And it's amazing to me because if you own a corporation, you understand this. you pay your corporate taxes, and your corporate taxes could be anywhere from 40 to 50%, depending on the corporation, the structure, what you're doing, what you're writing off, what you add back in, whatever the case may be. Now, capital gains tax is anywhere from 18 to 20%. So 20% or 50%. You're going to pay taxes regardless, no matter what. I'd rather pay 18 to 20% versus 50. Now, that's just me. I don't know about you, but that's me. And, self-employed income tax, brutal. So it behooves you to figure out how to set things up properly and pay yourself a salary through your company and get everything situated to help you. Now, I'm more on the protecting your wealth side. Tangible hard assets. Now, our currency is failing currently, and it's only going to get worse because we're in a debt system, and it's going to run a cycle. Now, hedging against inflation, hedging against that loss is gold and silver. Now, there's a ton of people that are going to talk about gold and silver. And, you need to put all your money in gold and silver. You need to take everything out and put it all in gold and silver. I personally don't feel that way. I think you need to have that as part of your structure. I think you need to have that as part of your portfolio to protect your wealth. I think there's a good strategy that comes with it. But I don't think you should put all your eggs in one basket and rely heavily on one or two things. Because life is all about change and what if. Now, here's the thing. If the sky doesn't fall and Chicken Little doesn't have his day, you're still safe. Okay? And the same thing is going to happen if the sky does fall and Chicken Little does have his day. You're safe. So either way, it's all about safety and protecting your wealth. That's the whole point. And it's all about tax incentives, mitigating tax loss, and protecting your long-term wealth for the next generation and the generation after. Now, if that's not something that interests you, all of this is a moot point. So it doesn't really matter. But if it does interest you and you want to find out how to do it and how we can help you, visit the website, set up a consultation with me, and I'll be more than happy to tell you and talk with you and figure out how we can help. Because that's the goal. Because personally, I have one mission in mind. See, I've got children in their 20s. And my parents never knew nothing about this. Okay, my parents weren't educated people. I became educated. And I did that because I don't want my kids to go through what I went through years ago or what my parents went through years ago. I want them to be protected. I want them to be safe. I want them to understand that they have wealth and they have knowledge of it and they have money set aside for the rainy day type thing. They don't have to depend on it or rely on it, but they can depend on it, I should say. So, money is a tool. It is not the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, it is nothing more than a tool to help you get ahead in life. However, if you don't have it, life becomes very stressful on a lot of different levels. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And now, I don't have to worry about it anymore. But I want to teach people. I want to make sure that they understand. And it's literally for the next generation. Because I have kids in their 20s. And guess what? One day they're going to have kids, and I want to make sure my grandkids, when they come, are protected. It's the only reason I do this. It's the only reason I still do this. Because that's the most important thing to me. That's my purpose. That's my why. So, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. God bless, and have an amazing day.